NFL Draft Nerds, welcome in. Today we are talking about the 2026 quarterback class, potential quarterback class. And not all these guys are going to end up being in this class. It's really early. It's May, but we're taking a look ahead at this upcoming crop of quarterbacks. And I've watched at least 3 games of 9 quarterbacks, and we're going to talk about all of them here today. These 9 quarterbacks. If you saw my Arch Manning episode, he's the one. Even in 100 dropbacks last year, he showed more pocket poise, more accuracy, really good athleticism, really good arm pop, the ability to throw on the run, off platform, different arm angles, always having himself in a position to be able to release the football in a way that's going to lead to good results. Arch Manning, take the name off the back of the jersey, just evaluate what you saw in those 100 snaps, 2.5 games. Yeah, there's more there than with any other guy. So I'm not going to bury the lead. Arch is number 1. And I think as long as 2025 goes the way that I expect it to, he could enter the draft and be the number 1 pick without question. Will he enter the draft? There's apparently a lot of different opinions on that. The Manning history is to kind of, complete your 4 years. But if Arch goes out and wins a national title, Heisman, why go back? If you have the opportunity to be the number 1 pick, why go back? There's too much risk involved in that. I think Arch Manning should come out after the 2025 season that I expect him to have. Now, that leaves us with the 8 other quarterbacks that I haven't talked with y'all about yet. And this is a preliminary look, right? We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. At number 9 right now for me of the 9 quarterbacks I've watched, I have Carson Beck. He's just got to rebuild that confidence in Miami. He's got decent athleticism. He's got decent height, size, pretty accurate with the football overall. But he's got the tools, in my opinion, to be like a decent starting quarterback in the NFL and potentially like a day 2 pick. But that confidence has to be rebuilt. And there was just a lot of things that kind of popped up last year at Georgia that would give me pause. And teams are going to have to do a lot of work to dig into who Carson Beck is. Obviously pulling him for him, a Jacksonville kid here. But Carson Beck at Miami, got to rebuild that confidence, got to have a big year to kind of change the narrative, rewrite the narrative. And then getting into the number 8 quarterback on my list right now, it's quarterback John Mateer, who played at Washington State last year, transferred to Oklahoma for the 2025 season. He's short. He's listed at 6'1". I wouldn't be surprised if he's a little bit shorter than that. Great athlete. He's got even though he's shorter, he's got a really well-built frame, muscular, dense. I think he can take the hits, but a great athlete. The way he runs around kind of reminds me of Kyler. Now, he's got good arm talent. Kyler had great A+ level arm talent. So you don't have quite the same package there. I want to see him, and it's going to be difficult with his height. I want to see him win from the pocket a lot more moving forward into the 2025 campaign. I just didn't see a lot of that on tape. I think that's something you need to be able to do at the NFL level. The reason Kyler was able to get away with it so often in college and the NFL, he's just special arm talent. I don't think Mateer has that same level of arm talent to play that same style of football. I don't see a lot of NFL quarterbacking from him yet. Hopefully he can get there, because if he can, I think he has enough arm talent and athleticism to be an impactful player. But you got to win from within the pocket a lot more than what we're seeing. And I just don't know if he can see over the lineman. I don't know if he can tell where his receivers are in the middle of the field, all that stuff. At 7, I have Garrett Nussmeier, and he could I see a legitimate path for Garrett Nussmeier skyrocketing up my board. I love his game from within the pocket. I love the moxie he plays with, the accuracy he has when he throws from a good platform. But he plays way too much hero ball, way too much. Whether it's throwing off his back foot, whether it's throwing on the move and throwing into tight windows, like he makes a lot of bad decisions. If he can become an assassin mentally and just know his limitations a little bit better, I think Garrett Nussmeier can be a really good quarterback at the NFL level. Really good. But there's way too much negative on tape right now for me to get on board with him at the top of this class yet. I think he can get there. I think like he has the physical tools, and when he plays within himself, I love it. There's just way too much of this kind of like wild ride with Garrett Nussmeier. And speaking of wild ride, at number 6, I have LaNorris Sellers out of South Carolina. Unlimited potential. I don't think that he really knows how to get through progressions or to throw with any anticipation right now, and that's a major problem for me. But rocket arm, insane strength and athleticism and the ability to break tackles, to inflict pain on defenders, to pick up chunks of yardage with his legs, to rocket the football into tight spaces, launch the ball down the field. It's all there, but there's just a really long way to go from a quarterbacking standpoint. At number 5, I've got Sam Leavitt, Arizona State. I love his game. I love it. He's got some good pop in his arm. It's not like an A+ arm or anything like that, but NFL arm strength, really good athleticism. He listed at like 6'2", 200, I think. He's pretty light, not the tallest guy, but you see him with the ability to throw over the middle of the field, and that's what you worry about with the guys that aren't as big. Can they throw over the middle of the field? Can they see the field? I think he can very well. I see some anticipatory throws. I see him really being able to read defenses and get through his progressions and play good ball. Kenny Dillingham doing a great job at Arizona State. The big question here is like, now that you don't have Cam Scatterbo to really carry the offense, can Leavitt kind of be the guy at Arizona State? And I think he can. I really do. And to me, he's kind of similar to Cade Klubnik out of Clemson. Klubnik to me is a really smooth operator. I feel like he's like a B in almost every grading category for me right now. Accurate thrower of the football, pretty smart, doesn't take a lot of big risks, but there are moments where I'm kind of like, okay, rein it in here. Pretty darn good athlete overall. Good enough size, I think, in this modern game. But can he like take the next step from a mental standpoint? Can he take the next step in one of these areas to really elevate himself? Because right now he's at number 4 for me. And then the next 3 are really, to me, the ones that scream, first round talent. Obviously, Arch Manning, we've already talked about. He's my number 1 guy. Drew Allar, great arm pop. I mean, he can put that ball anywhere he wants to, and he's pretty accurate with it. He's a functional athlete. He's not like somebody you want to run designed runs for, but he's got good pocket movement. I think he's got a good feel for the pocket overall. He's big kid. Pretty smart with the football. I think he's asked to do a lot of NFL stuff right now at Penn State in terms of getting through his reads. Again, being able to manage the pocket, has enough athleticism to take off if there's green grass in front of him and enough size to hold up. So I think Drew Allar, if he continues to progress at Penn State, I mean, like to me, he would have been a top 5 pick this year. If he came out, I think he would have easily been QB2. Next year, I think there's a little bit more talent in the class, potentially. Again, we don't know how this class is going to shape out, but I think Drew Allar projects to be a first-round quarterback for me. And it's really early. got the whole 2025 season to watch these guys and change our opinions and see how things play out. But right now, I would put Drew Allar in the first round, probably in the top 10. He might not be like one of my top 10 overall prospects, but the quarterbacks, they get the bump, right? And then at number 2, one of the most exciting players when you pop on the tape that I've seen this year, it's Fernando Mendoza, who's transferring from Cal to Indiana. Special arm talent, I'm telling you. I mean, his ability to throw from different arm angles and different platforms, and that ability, the ball just like explodes off his hand. That's special. That is some special stuff right there. Now, he's got a long way to go from a decision-making standpoint. There's sometimes where he's doing stuff and I'm just like, what were you thinking on that play? And I hope that he does make the progress that I would like to see, because if he does, he has some really unbelievable talent. I mean, he could be a top pick at quarterback. I mean, if he makes progress this year, I think I would definitely put him in front of Cam Ward. If he makes some progress in terms of the decision making, because he's got all the tools. And now he's not a great athlete. I think he's a functional athlete as well. He can pick up yards if there's green grass, got good pocket movement, all that stuff. And a lot of his athleticism shows up in that ability to throw off platform, to throw from different arm angles. And that's a big part of quarterback athleticism, obviously. And then Arch Manning at the top again. We don't need to go over all of it, but I think everything is there. Everything is in Arch Manning's bag to be a really special quarterback in the NFL. And that'll do it. Just a fun little chat talking about these quarterbacks, kind of giving my early rankings. I think 8 of these guys have a chance. Really, probably 7 to maybe work their way into the first round. Mateer would just really surprise me with the way he plays. He plays a lot like Kyler, but he does not have the same level of talent in his arm that Kyler did. So that makes it tough. But we'll see. He should be in a good situation. I definitely think Nussmeier has the ability to be a first round pick. LaNorris Sellers as well. Leavitt, Klubnik, and then I already think Allar, Mendoza, Manning are kind of in that range already. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below about this quarterback class. Really appreciate you tuning in, supporting the channel. Y'all have a good one.